Good morning. Session 46. Today we'll discuss about the family Orchidaceae. The family Orchidaceae is considered to be the most advanced and highest evolved among monocotyledonnae. The most diverse and complex development of flowers and reduction in number of stamens, the recipiennate epigynous ovary, reduction in stigmatic lobes, and formation of rostellum, absence of endosperm in the seeds, and undifferentiated embryo all point towards great advancement in the course of evolution. The habit of the plant, all herbs with large number of epiphytes and a few saprophytes are also support this view. Most of the authors agree that the family originated from Liliaceous stock. According to Hutchinson, it has been derived from Liliaceae through Hypoxidaceae and Apostachiaceae and later included in Orchidaceae by earlier authors. Takhtajan and Conquest also considered that Orchidaceae, although does not have close affinity with Liliaceae, has been derived from this family through others with epigynous flowers. Another line of parallel evolution is traced from Musaceae through Lauaceae, which has a recipiennate epigynous ovary and a distinct labellum. So you can see the Orchidaceae most distinct and the most important and with ornamental cultivated, and it is cultivated flower, it's beautiful flower. So Orchidaceae is having about 700 species are found in India, and two zone rich in orchids can be demarcated, that is eastern zone comprising eastern Himalaya and the hilly area of eastern India. The second one, the southwestern zone comprising Western Ghats and Nilgiri hills. So here you can see these orchids growing luxuriantly in Himalayan region, that is hilly regions of Himalaya and Western Ghats and also Nilgiri. So you can see many of the orchids flowers. These are the orchid flowers which are very attractive and flowers in different shapes and beauty. Characters of the family Orchidaceae. These are perennial herbs, epiphytes. Sometimes they are act as saprophytes, terrestrial saprophytes. Flowers are zygomorphic, hermaphrodite, bisexual, epigynous, recipiennated, perianth, 6 in 2 whorls of 3 each. Posterior segment of the inner whorl developed as labellum, presence of a peculiar structure, a labellum, column, rostellum, stamen, 1 to 2, 1 or 2 staminode pollen grains are united in the form of pollinia. Presence of pollinia is very much characteristic to the family, the Orchidaceae. You can see the pollinia here. You can see the spores are collected in the form of pollinia, not like other stamens. A similar feature is observed in the dicotyledon family Asclepiadaceae, presence of pollinia. Gynoecium tricarpellary, it is carpels 3, inferior, unilocular with parietal placentation. The fertile stamen is adherent to the style and forms with the column or gynostegium, which is very much important, gynostegium, which projects more or less in the center of the flower, gynostegium. Stigma is 2 or 3 lobed, in some 2 fertile and 1 sterile, modified into rostellum, You can see the flower here, you can see the petals here, inner whorl, outer whorl. You can also see the stigma here, column, outer petal, pollinia, you can see the anther, and here you can see the inferior ovary. See, you can see the plant here, Orchidaceae family, vegetative characters, perennial, terrestrial, succulent, and you can see the leaves. Some are devoid of leaves. And herbs, many are herbs, many are epiphyte or saprophyte, sometimes climbers. Vanilla is a climber. Roots, adventitious roots in most of the monocotyledons, tuberous, fleshy. You have the presence of epiphytic root with velamen tissue, which is characteristic feature of all the epiphytes. There are 3 types of roots. One is normal root, clinging root, and aerial absorbing roots. Aerial absorbing roots are also called as epiphytic roots, which are present in most of the orchids, and these absorb the nutrients and also moisture from the surrounding atmosphere with the help of a special tissue called velamen tissue, which is white in color. You can see the roots here, aerial absorbing root, epiphytic root, or it is also called as hanging roots. You can see the plants here, very important, very beautiful flowers with hanging roots. Stem, climbing or trailing, erect, annual, terrestrial form, perennial in epiphytic form, generally very thick, rhizome or pseudobulb, bearing aerial assimilatory roots. So stem. Next is leaf, simple, alternate, sometimes opposite or oral, usually fleshy. Linear to ovate shape. Sheathing leaf base is present, which is very much characteristic to the family Orchidaceae, that is monocots. Sometimes reduced to acrophilous scales. So simple, alternate, oral, sheathing leaf base. It may be linear or ovate, thick, very much thick. Coming to the floral character, inflorescence. Inflorescence, it may be solitary or spike, raceme or panicle. Flowers, variable, very much peculiar, very attractive. Shape, size, color, often showy. Bract is present. Zygomorphic, bisexual, rarely unisexual, epigynous, trimerous, and you have a characteristic respiration that is twisted to 180 or upside down, 180 degree or upside down. Perianth, that is next whorl, the first whorl of the flower. Tepal 6, present in 2 whorls of 3 each. Tepals represent calyx, green in color. Inner tepals colored, representing corolla. Dissimilar, the 2 lateral or wing-like. The 3rd posterior tepal is lightly modified, often projected base at the base. It is called labellum or lip. You can see the labellum here, labellum here, that is lip. Broad shoe shape, pursed, tubular, strap shape, various shapes, butterfly shaped or variously branched, contributing most beauty, most the oddity and beauty of the flower. So this is the labellum here. You can see the labellum. Other three tepals here. This is the labellum, which is attractive and it is various shape. And because of this labellum, the flowers are showy. Labellum is actually posterior. It comes to lie on the anterior side of the flower due to the twisting of the inferior ovary through 180 degree by bending back of the pedicel over the apex. That's why the process is called resupination. So here you can see the petals, sepals here. This is the labellum and anther cap, anther, that is pollinia, sticky stigma, base of the column, and here you can see the gynostegium. When the anther cap is detached, the pollinia is exposed. Andicium. Stamens usually 3, which unite with the pistil to form a column. Unite with the pistil to form a column here. You can see the column. The gynandrium or gynostegium, opposite to the labellum. So here comes your the stamen opposite to the labellum. Functional stamen 1 or 2, dithecous, intrors, pollen granular, coherent in each cell into 1, 2 or 4 stalked pollen masses or pollinia. So you can see the anterior, you can see the pollinia, and here the stigma, and here you can see the column. Okay, the connection between the ovary and stamen is made by the beak-like sterile stigma occupying almost center of the column. Sometimes staminodes are also present. You can see here in this flower the pollinia coming out. Gynoecium, tricarpellary, syncarpous, ovary inferior, trilocular, ovules on axial placentation. Stigma 3, of which 2 lateral are often fertile. 2 are fertile. The third stigma is sterile, forming a small beak-like outgrowth. The rostrum lying in the center of the column between the anther and a fertile stigma. So this rostrum is present lying in the center of the column between the anther and fertile stigma. In some cases, all the 3 stigma are functional. For example, Cypripedium. So here you can see the stigma here, stigma and pollinia, stigma here, sticky stigma, a column, anther cap, pollinia here, caudicle, visidium, sticky pad. The whole structure is called pollinia here. Okay, so gynoecium, tricarpellary, syncarpous, ovary inferior, placentation is parietal, trilocular, axial placentation, stigma usually 3, 2 are often fertile, 1 stigma sterile, and that stigma is called rostrum, lying in the center of the column between the anther and fertile stigma. Coming to the last part, that is fruit. Fruit is a capsule. You can see the splitting of the fruit capsule. Seeds, the smallest seeds of the plant kingdom, 0.00 milligram, non-endospermic. These are the MCQs. In this family, there are various important plants belongs to this family Orchidaceae. The Orchidaceae is having many of the important plants like Vanda, etc., Dendrobium, Cymbidium, Catalea flowers, most beautiful among orchids and found in almost all Indian nurseries. So it is having most beautiful flowers. The family Orchidaceae, it is having two family based on the stamens, Diandrae subfamily and subfamily Monandrae. In Diandrae, stamens 2, in Monandrae, stamens only 1, that is Pollinia is 2 in Diandrae, and in Monandrae, stamens Pollinia is only 1. Thank you.